welcome to Workout B for the food freedom free bonuses that you just received from that program. So Workout B, again, I'm going to preface this with please make sure you've done the mobility workout drills before. Today's workout, again, how much time do you have available? Set the timer. Don't go any more than 25 minutes. If you feel like you need to keep moving your body, go for a nice walk or go for a swim or do something else, all right? So today's workout, we're gonna do deadlifts, we're gonna do one arm floor presses, crunches, push-ups, and burpees. So before we get into deadlifts, I would really like you to grab a broomstick, and I'm gonna show you proper form because too often we're not lifting properly and we can really injure ourselves. So for the deadlift, what we're gonna do, you are going to take your stick and you're going to practice what is called the 3-point stretch. Now the 3-point stretch is just basically proper alignment, standing up straight. So we're going to have this stick and you're going to have your head touching, so my C-spine, my T-spine, and my L-spine, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to stand like this. Now this might feel awkward because sometimes people hunch forward so their heads don't touch or their thoracic spine is not touching or it's their lumbar. Now if you have big glutes like me, a bigger booty, really make sure that the stick is situated not on top but actually touching your lumbar spine. And what we're going to do, a deadlift is simply a hinge. It's all a hinge pattern. I want you to pretend you're walking into a counter, a low counter. This is what you would do, okay? So we're simply shooting our hips back. You have a slight bend in the knees. They're not tight and rigid. There's a slight bend, okay? So with your stick, all parts of your spine are touching. You are going to hinge back to what feels good. The minute this stick lets go, that's not proper alignment, okay? And then come back up. So this is just a good warm-up practice to see how is your deadlift pattern. If you're new to lifting, I really want you to practice just with the stick and no weight. If you have been lifting for a while, I'm going to still encourage you to set up with the stick and see how that feels, okay? And then squeeze back up. So I would recommend, again, if you're doing the whole circuit, you can just use the stick. And if you want to use weights, you can use weights, but please warm up with the stick. Okay, so that's deadlifts. What we're going to do is if I show you with weights now, you are going to have the weights to the side. I'm going to show you from the side here. Everything's up straight. I'm going to hinge. And then I'm going to squeeze forward. So when I'm leaning forward here, I'm actually feeling it in my hamstrings, and I'm going to squeeze up with my glutes to keep my spine nice and straight. So you can do deadlifts like that. If you're using a barbell, let's say you're a professional lifter, you're used to lifting, you can set up your deadlift as you need to with your bell. So it'll be times 10. Next, we're going to get into one-arm floor presses. So what you'll do, you're going to grab your weights, you're going to position yourself on the ground, and you're going to do one arm press, one at a time. Okay? Now, if you want to challenge yourself, you can have one arm up as you're pressing, one side, or alternating. It's totally up to you. Okay? So it's times 10 of those. Next, I believe it was crunches. I don't have the best memory. Yes, next is crunches. So when it comes to doing any kind of ab work, we really want to make sure that it is actually, in fact, our abs that are working and not our back. So if you have had children, if you've had surgeries, a lot of the times we hike our hips or we place our bodies in a way that it's actually the back that's taking the brunt of the movement, and that's not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay flat. Now, what I want you to see is that if I position myself normally, my lumbar creates the arch. I can have a hand under. Now, if I were to do crunches like that, which I used to do crunches like that, and I've actually been in many fitness classes where a lot of women do crunches like that and they don't get corrected. You will have sore back. What I want you to do is I want you to take your ribs and push them down. Okay, so I'm pushing my ribs down. I don't have that arch anymore. From this position, I can crunch up. My hands are on the side of my head. I am not pulling my head up. So you can crunch like this. If you want to challenge yourself, you can do a double crunch. If you want to challenge yourself more, you can extend and crunch. Now, so long as you keep your spine compressed to the floor. The floor never lies. So this will keep you and your back solid, so you should not have back pain. Again, if something doesn't feel good, you stop doing the movement, you reach out to me or Google it and film yourself. I always recommend filming yourself when you're doing movements that you're not maybe sure of, or even if you've done them for a while. I recommend filming just because then you can really see the patterns and see if you have a healthy pattern diet to that movement. Next, we're going to do push-ups. Now, push-ups, you can do them off if you're not used to pushing up, and if you have wrist problems, please do the wrist mobility flow that I've included. Always do that flow. But you can do push-ups off of a wall. So I want you to position to yourself where you're close enough to the wall that you can push up against it. And then when you start to feel really comfortable, step back. Okay, let's always start with ease before we challenge it. Just like, loading a move, make sure you have the proper pattern. If that's good, you can do push-ups off of a couch or a table. You can do incline. And then if you're ready for the ground, I will show you when you're ready for the ground how I would like you to push up, because we want to build more strength. So I see a lot of women who get up on their toes, and I'm happy that you're challenging yourself, but this is not a push-up, okay? So what we're gonna do is, that's great that you're practicing, awesome. Let's get you to real push-ups. So what you'll do is you'll be on your knees. You're going to start from the ground up, okay? Ground up. My hands are chest level, my elbows are in, okay? And you're gonna push up solid and lower, solid. Everything is up. Everything is tight and contracted because a push-up is actually a total body move. Okay, so you don't want your hips to sink into it. You want your glutes fired up, your thighs, everything is tight, okay? Then when you're ready to challenge yourself, you can do push-ups off of your toes. And again, everything is up solid, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. And if you're looking for more of a challenge, you can do push-ups, one-legged alternating push-ups. So you would get into position, lift one leg, push up, lift one leg, push up. Okay? So again, doing the move to what feels good for you. And the last one, burpees. Now, burpees are a good time. What we need to think about with burpees is you don't have to go fast and get sloppy. Let's do slow controlled. Now, I do have problems with my back, so what really helps me is I always make sure my spine is positioned before I jump back up out. So, if you've never done a burpee, let me show you. So, for a burpee, you would jump, hands down. You can walk back or jump. Then you can jump back up and jump back up. Now, you can also do the push-up at the bottom of your burpee. So if you want that extra practice with those push-ups, this is what you can do. Jump, down, jump back, down, come up. And how I like to, you can walk back up, that's fine. How I like to make sure I'm positioned real good with my spine is when I jump up, I'm in a low squat, I come up. So my spine, as you can see, is nice. I used to do so many burpees, so quick for time, got really sloppy, and create a lot of bad back issues. So I'm a lot more gentler with myself, and I just respect where I'm at today. So basically, it's 10 moves of each. You go for as much time as you have and totally rock that. Get that sweat on. Peace, love.